C-O-L. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping live until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping live until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, ripping that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy Jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch yours, pour up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the Sids. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the number one fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit till the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles, running defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's no more left in ya. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. Dallas Cowboys to the death from that. I'ma keep ripping loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L.
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, and we are live in the building, man. How are you guys doing on this mighty? What is today? Man, ever since this quarantine thing been happening, my days have been all off, man. But if I am not mistaken, it is Wednesday, right? Wednesday. What's up? Hey, what's up with you, David Jenkins? I see you out there. He says, what's up, Tyson? Visually impaired Cowboy fan here. Fredericks, God, talking about yours. Okay. Yeah. I remember you. What's up with you, big? I see you, man. Hey, well, I appreciate you for listening in. For all my folks out there that are listening to the show, I appreciate you. That's part of our commitment to always having some really good, solid audio, because we understand that we have folks out there who got to get it in no matter even if they can't see it. And you know what? That's a real goddamn Cowboy fan right there, Boss Cowboy. That's a real goddamn Cowboy fan right there. Shout out my boy over there on YouTube, man. Boss Cowboy, I know you see some people over there in Boss Cowboys over there on your side of the field, man. Let me know. Shout out some folks over there on your page, man. He be sending you that Gouda Gouda. I like those. Hey man, it's how you tripping, man. Find my inbox and shoot me some good information. I need some folks that's down. I am serious, man. If you got some information on the NFC East, let me know. I heard that. There we go. Tavis and Boss Cowboy in cahoots to write a book. I heard that, man. What up with you, Tavis? Hey, but hey, well, shout out to Justin. What's up with you? He said him say receivers is one of theirs. What up with you, Derek? Miss Tawny, what's up with you? I see ya. How you doing, my supporter over there? I appreciate you. Got everybody in the building, man. What's up with you, Marco? They send your sound off. Let me see. Do. It says Boss Cowboy is silent. Let me see. Can you hear now? Say something, boss. No, you are not coming in. Let me see. Yeah, unplug it and plug it back in. But yeah, man, while he gets that thing worked out over there, gets his microphone situated. I know you guys can hear West Coast, so I appreciate you guys. Boss is still working on that. Boss, give me a hoot. Say something, boss. Now I can't hear anything. He'll figure it out though. 1, 2, 3. I hear you, but let me see if I can switch some on my side to get it all working. And but yeah, man. Tonight we got 2 special guests. We got CEV co-owner, my boy Charles, gonna come on the show, and he's gonna talk about kind of give us an insight on CEV and what they are about and what they kind of stand for. And we're going to talk to him about some things. And, Boss Cowboys, say something for me real quick.
Yo, testing 1, 2, 3.
I think we should be good. I think we should be good. All right. So, yeah, my boy Charles from CEV is going to come on and kind of, talk to us for a couple minutes, kind of let us understand what CEV is about and what they got going on in 2020. And then we also have my guy, man. This is Coach OG Bush. This triple OG, triple OG, triple OG, man. We got Coach Higgins coming in, man. I'm gonna tell you guys, I know the arena football, that sphere, that life kind of well. My little brother played in it a couple years. And Coach Higgins is, when it comes to wide receivers and, in the AFL, man, he's one of those names out there. He's one of those, he's like I don't want to give him like no overly, credit, but I mean, he's, you have, the Michael Crabtrees, the Des Bryants of the NFL. Like, he has one of those big names of the indoor football league, and he's taken that and he's made a really good business over the last 20 years training wide receivers, and he is one of the top wide receiver trainers out there. And this is personal trainer. These are guys that are coming to him and paying him for his services. Now he specializes in he's up there in upstate New York, so he specializes in a lot of Canadian football players, a lot of arena football players, and a lot of college kids. But he's going to be coming on, man, and he's going to be kind of talking about the Dallas Cowboy wide receiver core for a little bit. Then he's also going to talk about some college wide receivers that he like, man. And you guys know, man, one thing I love about one thing I love about our platforms here is like we're all about outsourcing expertise. Like there are no James Bonds. We understand there's no James Bond. There's no one that understands everything. So why not just all these great people that I've met in my
experts.
Yeah, like all these great people that I've met in my football career, like instead of trying to do their job, why don't I just get them to get on air and they can just do their job?
Makes sense to me.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to
Say it
disagree with West Coast, but when a wide receiver coach says, "Yeah, man, they should still catch them balls, or they should still did," you know what I'm saying? Or blah, 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 blah. What can you say?
Hey, they make you a little bit more humble.
Yeah, like what else? I mean, what more else can you say though? You know what I'm saying? You can't really say.
So I could talk that corner safety talk all day, but bringing a guy that actually played a position like at a high level, like the guy that's coming on, coach that's coming on. Shoot, now we get to really get into details of getting in and out of breaks and attacking the ball and how you taught and reading defenses and really hear from people that, like you said, they're the experts. We giving the best opinion from playing corner like you did and I did, but yeah, it definitely enhances the opinion. I love it. Good idea.
Absolutely, man. And so, hey, man, let me talk about my boy. Let me see. We got some other folks in the comment box. Hey, YouTube. Hey, mate, if you are on YouTube, man, make sure you throw some comments in there. We got a total of 91 people on 4 platforms right now bumping. So everybody, we appreciate you. But YouTube, make sure you guys throw your name in there. Make sure you guys throw some comments in there. We got to get them YouTube comments up because I know it's some real educated Cowboy fans over there who love their football over there. Let me see. Miss Rita, how you doing, Miss Rita? Rob, how you doing? He says, "What's that? What I'm waiting on, man." I heard that. So, hey, man, let's kind of just talk about. Tonight we're gonna kind of talk about wide receiver. That's gonna kind of be the theme of tonight. We got a wide receiver coach coming on. And let's kind of talk about the Dallas Cowboy wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? And Boss Cowboy, when you just not even adding a Dez Bryant right now, just from today, what are your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver core while we wait for my boy Charles to clink in a couple minutes?
I actually think we good at wide receiver, better than most actually think we are. I still feel that we have to address the red zone for sure. I think we still have to address the red zone, and it's kind of funny that we dialed up an audible because we said we was gonna talk about running back, but I'm telling you, receiver some way is in the atmosphere because I posted today before we changed the audible to talk to coach on receivers. I posted the comparison with Chase Claypool today and put his comps. So, and
Chase Claypool, let's give us a real update real quick on who he is for those who may not know.
Claypool is out of Notre Dame. He's a freakish guy who's 6'4", jumped 40 inches and 0.5 inches in the air. He had over 10 touchdowns in the red zone and ran a 4.45. So we talking about a real freak. And so when you're looking at a guy like Chase and looking at the fact that he also is being courted by NFL teams to play flex tight end as well, I mean, it makes so much sense, especially when you compare his measurables to Ingram. And so I'm excited about Claypool from a receiver standpoint, but I'm also more excited about him as a position flex tight end. Because if you look at Ingram in 2018 and 2017, Ingram was the top weapon in separation per target with literally 4.4 yards worth of separation every time he was targeted. Bro, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
So when you sitting over there with Eli, you won't even know it. But if you put a weapon like that with Dak, and we know Dak loves weapons that can get separation, and you give him a weapon that's like Ingram versus linebackers, bro, it's over. I'm talking about over for the entire league. And the crazy thing is when you look at Chase Claypool, his measurables, it's actually better than Ingram. And Ingram was a first-round tight end.
And this is Ingram. Where he play at? Let him know where he plays at.
Notre Dame, and
Okay.
Ingram plays for the Giants. You better know that, or why you listening to the show?
So yeah, man. Terry says West Coast where you says I brought in. You know, a lot of people. He's my boy right here. Travis says that Chase is bonkers with it. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at some stuff for him today. Like this dude looked like LeBron James, bruh.
Nah, he's a monster.
Yeah, he looked like LeBron James. Like he looks like LeBron James running down the field. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about them Notre Dame kids, man, is them kids typically had their heads on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? They've been putting out some pretty solid tight ends and just skill positions over the last couple years, man. So, you know, shout out to Notre Dame for handling that. I mean, I definitely 100% agree with you on, you know, Dak friendly targets because, like you always say, man, you're and this is just obvious football. You know, when you have a wide receiver core, you know, it's almost like an NBA starting five. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have five dudes that are all do five different things, but you also want to have five dudes that are also shaped, you know, can physically do different things. You know what I'm saying? Because
Man.
you're not always gonna need. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, 4.2 speed is fiery, but I mean, it don't do you much on the 7-yard line. You know what I'm saying? It don't really
Right.
do you much. You know what I'm saying? It don't do you
Man.
much at all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I sit here and I digress. I'm like, you know, I'm really, really interested in, you know, what the Dallas Cowboys are going to do, you know, coming up, you know, with this draft. But, hey, man, I told you guys we had a special guest coming in. I'm going to go ahead and get him mocked up so we can get him inside. But it's while I do that, you guys enjoy this commercial break. What's up with you guys? You guys already know what it is, man. It is your boy West Coast, and we back in the building, man. So, yo, man, I got my boy Charles, man, in the building today, man. Co-owner, founder of CEV Collection out there, one of the hottest brands. Man, I'm gonna tell you that, like, I'm literally repeating the commercial because the commercial is so true, man. If you're in and around Dallas, and if you're a real Cowboy fan, man, you see all the Cowboys players wearing them. And man, it's just motivating, man. So I absolutely had to jump on. So I got my boy Charles on the line right now, man. And man, we want to talk about CEV 2020, kind of going forward. Before we get there, man, we want to know, man, how did all this come to part, man? Let us know, how did all this start?
Man, so for real, man, the brand originally started with Jalen. The CEV came from, it started in high school for him. him and his vision about the CEV. And then as he, transpired in the league, man, the eyewear market is a big market. Him being the entrepreneur that he is, he thought it would be a great opportunity to start an eyewear brand. Um, so about a year ago, man, I just had moved to Texas. Um, came here, man. Told him that I was into it or whatever. Actually, I didn't even tell him I was into it. He asked me about it. Asked me what I thought about it, and asked me would I be down to, kind of help him, grow the brand. So from there, man, we hit the ground running. I ended up going to a meeting. Actually, we had a meeting with the Cowboys because we kind of we own not own, but we make the eyewear that they have in the shops and stuff like that. So that was like the first meeting we went to. Man, the meeting went great. We closed the deal. That was kind of one of the biggest deals that we closed in 2019. So moving forward, man, we just kind of got straight into it. Trying to just grow the company. And, take it to new heights in 2020.
Absolutely, boss cowboy. Man, well, I know y'all already know each other, but I mean, man, let's talk a little
man,
bit.
Charles, I don't know if you remember me, man, but you was the one that actually sold me these actually CVs right here with the Jalen signature on
Okay.
them, bro. I don't know if
Okay.
you remember, man. You
No,
get
I
a
don't. I
nice
don't
little
remember,
discount on them
man.
too, and I sure appreciate it.
For sure,
Cause
for
I
sure. I
modeled
show for
about
these
20
glasses,
of them,
man.
man. I made you work for these glasses. I put about 80 of them on. But you took
For
your
sure, for
time,
sure.
Charles.
Hey,
Hey, West Coast. My boy Charles took his time. Charles is like, yeah, I like those. And wait, try these on. Try these on. I mean, Charles took care. Listen, y'all. If you get with Charles, Charles is gonna take care of you on these CVs. And
Yeah.
look,
for sure.
I've been loving them since, man. I'm talking about I look better than Jalen and you, Charles, in these. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's how you supposed to feel. That's how they supposed to make you feel.
But yeah, man. So yeah, man. So in 2020, man, we understand, because when Jalen was in college, we understood, the CEV with with what he was doing, and we understand that that he believes in it so firmly, man. But I want to know, like, in 2020 and like going forward, like, what is like the next step? Because we see the eyewear, we definitely see the impression that that you guys are trying to make on the social media sphere too, also through different brands and things like that. So I mean, what is
Yep.
kind of next for CEV?
Man, so this year, man, this year we started off very strong. As you know, we went to the Super Bowl. We gave a pair of CVs to Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, and them on Undisputed or whatever. So that was great to start off the year. Um, and then moving forward, man, we got a lot of big deals. Coming up. If people out there to know Xylaware. Xylaware is one of the biggest eyewear brands in the world. They basically make all the lenses for all the top name brands. Like your Ray Bans and things like that. So we're in the midst of trying to partner with them. So that's a huge step. But then as well, man, we got some other stuff going on with the Cowboys. Like how he got his glasses, through the travel and thing like that. So we're working on like a little travel package with the Cowboys. It'll be like the CEV travel package,
Wow.
to where fans can, purchase the package, and in that package they also, would come into the games and things like that. On the signings the days before the home games, they'll also be able to buy a package and things like that. In that package will include some CEVs as well. So that's two of the big things that we got coming up in 2020. It's a lot more, but I ain't gonna spoil it. Because 2020 gonna be a good year for sure, for sure.
Shoot, I heard that,
2020
man.
just makes sense, man. Just it goes perfectly with Clear Our View. And one of the things that obviously Jalen did a real good deal with Dallas, and I'm happy for him that he finally got his money. He went the hard road of because he's supposed to have obviously been a top 5 draft choice,
Mhm.
but the knee kind of derailed him. But now looking at the fact that he partnered with Dallas and he did it not just from a football standpoint, but a branding standpoint. the beautiful thing is you on the inside. Could you kind of let the fans know, because you brought the Dallas Cowboys up a couple of times, just what the relationship is like, to where you see a player that takes a risk and say, I'm going to marry my brand and my football brand with the business brand. Could you kind of talk about bridging that a little bit and how that's kind of works for you and Jalen?
Yeah, you want to like our relationship or the relationship with CV and the Cowboys?
All of it.
Okay. Well, me and Jalen relationship, man, we just start off. We went to middle school together. We played we played Metro Youth football together against each
Wow.
other actually.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So he put you down and y'all was rivals?
Yeah, man. We started off as rivals. He played for a Metro team called the Rams, and I played for the Chargers. Basically the two top Metro teams in our city or whatever. So kind of started off as rivals, and then later on we went up going to middle school together. And then from there he went to high school somewhere else. I went to high school for somewhere else, and then my last 2 years I ended up going to the high school that he was at. So won 2 state titles together, and then that's kind of like our relationship. It started off with football, and then to this day, man, we just been rocking. Yeah, for sure.
I got a kind of question, man, because like real quickly, man, what was like those times of like, because we actually through the lens of the Cowboys and other things got to see his comeback, but you got to see it through the lens of your actual eyelid of you being there. Like, kind of tell us about him going through that series of being injured and him and what you've seen him like come back and just with your own eyes and things like this. Kind of give us some insight on that, man, because that's an amazing point of view.
Yep. So, man, for real. So, look, man, while he was hurt, I was in college still, So, while he was hurt, I was still in college, man. But he was training and things like that, getting back at our hometown. And I was going to college in our hometown. So, it kind of like that point when he got hurt or whatever, him being, not being able to do certain stuff because of, the injury and things like that. It was times where I was over there, even if we was just playing the game, just trying to keep him, occupied to where his mind not on, the injury, and just being around love. So, that whole time, man, we would play the game for hours, days. We played PGA golf for hours, man. We was playing 2K. Man, we used to do this thing where we create players, right, on 2K. And then we'll be on the same team, going like, but we go through actual season, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we was doing that, man. And then as well, man, just like I said, just trying to be around love, and just him going through that whole process was crazy. Just because I had never ever seen him hurt, you know what I mean? Like, if you know Jalen, he'd never been hurt before. So for him to go through that, man, and just trying to see, his transition from, okay, mentally, going through something like that, and then physically, so the grind was real, but throughout the whole process, he had no doubt, about his injury. One of the things I used to tell him, what I'm saying, you're 80% better than a lot of people, 100%.
Facts.
Facts.
Yep. That's
What I mean?
Yeah.
That's
so
facts,
I try
bro.
Yeah, man, that's facts, so
Yeah.
it's things like that, that I used to, try to say to him, man, just to motivate him. And then as far as that, man, he was, his process was just, him, really grinding it out, not really knowing where he was going to fall in the draft or anything like that, but, God got a plan for all of us.
Shoot, I heard that, man. Well, boss,
you
man,
know what?
go ahead before we let him up out of here, man. Go ahead.
I'm finna
Okay,
let him out. Before we let you out, Charles, this the deal, man. We've been rocking these CVs in front
Yes,
of
sir.
thousands on this show.
Yes, sir.
So West Coast, he nicer than me, man. I need
for
another
sure.
picture, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking
said-
about on the house too. Yeah, I said it. On the house.
I gotta get West Coast his.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. You said West Coast. What about your boy boss? Hey, Hey, listen to
Look, you
everybody that's on the
gotta-
fans. They'll tell you, man. This is almost like my brand now. I just, you know what I mean? This is my
Yeah.
brand now.
Look,
I rock these shades
just go
so
to the
much to where they
website, let
think
me
the
know which
shades.
one.
Go ahead, Charles.
I said go to the website, let me know which ones.
I'm messing with you, man. I'm gonna pay the price. But
Hey, for
anyway,
sure, for
man,
sure.
this the
Yeah,
deal.
one thing I want to say though before I get out of here.
Yeah.
Man, West Coast, man, I appreciate you, bro, a lot, man.
Shoot, I appreciate you, man.
For just, you know what I mean, rocking with the brand. You know what I mean? And a big reason why we kind of, you know, want to partner with you and things like that is just because, you know, your influence that you have, you know what I'm saying, with the fans and things like that. You well connected to them, you know what I mean? They respect you. Even if, you know what I mean, they don't agree with you putting up, you know what I'm saying, they still respect you. And like I said, man, I appreciate you for that, man, as well, for real. You didn't got, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I know, you know what I mean, you done bring in some sales as well, so.
Shoot, I appreciate it.
CV definitely appreciate you, bro, for real.
Well, shoot, hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. That's why I rock with y'all, man, because I appreciate the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny, man, because they put this post up, and it was a meme, and it said, like, if you had to be quarantined with, like, somebody, and, like, it had all these Cowboys on there, and I was like, you know, the first person I looked at, I was like, Jalen. He was like, why? It was because he always on his business stuff, and he always on his workout. I was like, so at the end of the quarantine, I'm going to be in shape with a gang of more ideas and stuff like that. And I know that you're a part of that nucleus, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, you know, a parable that my mom always tells me is like, always be mindful of people who are nice to you or who are appreciative to you, who you really don't have anything to offer to it. And to be honest with you, man, you guys are a multi-million-dollar brand that's growing, you know what I'm saying? And it's the fact that you guys were willing to, like, still, you know, look at me like, you know, hey, man, I'm going to give you an opportunity. If you take that opportunity, you do well, then we'll go on to the next step. And I appreciated that, man. And that's what I'm always continue to do, is continue to run with that, man. So, you know, I definitely,
sure,
you know, I feel like I'm
love
invested.
Is love, man. Love is love.
People be like, man, you won't say nothing bad about this or that because Jalen don't da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't got nothing bad to say about Jalen neither. I don't care if he fall off a cliff.
Man, but I'm just saying though. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's how folks.
Hey, and this is the point though. I'm gonna say it, West Coast. Listen, after some point when you build a relationship with somebody, and obviously I don't have a relationship with Jalen that you do, right? But I now I understand how hard it is, even if a player makes a play, when I know how he worked.
Heck yeah.
Right?
Heck yeah.
And I know what he been through to come back.
Heck
I'm gonna
yeah.
turn my head on Jalen.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? For a little while, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say nothing because it's like I know what he did to come back.
Yeah.
So that's the type of guy to me that you supposed to give him a break because he broke his knee coming to us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the craziest situation I think is as far as identifying. I think that's the number one thing that I love about player interaction is it gives a human side. I always tell people about this. You know what I'm saying? It allows me to see the human side, you know, of players, man. And I remember when we was in El Paso, man, and we was about to get in that tunnel, and it was supposed to be the athletes getting it. And I remember Jalen looked at us. He said, "Man, I had 14 tackles yesterday, man." And when he said that, like, I could feel it. Like, bruh, I see why you're walking slower than all the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? I see why you're tired. You know what I'm saying? I see that. So it's like, man, like, it really gives that human, that it really gives that human.
I do remember that.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we got voluntold to get in. Because
what position did you play?
Huh?
What position did you play?
I played a receiver in college. In high school, though, it was funny. You see, Jalen was a starter. I was the backup. You know.
Oh.
But anytime he was tired from playing defense, trust me, I was running that thing too.
Well, shoot, man. Sure. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you, man. As soon as anything that CEV is on, you guys already know what it is, man. You know, West Coast is definitely gonna be rocking it, man. Charles, I appreciate you for coming on. Hey, drop them your IG, man, because I got some people asking where they can follow you at on IG, man.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. IG YFN _5 FIFFF. Peace.
For sure.
Appreciate
hey, we got some
too, Charles.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hey, you have a blessed evening, man. All right, man. Say, man, that was CEV on the building, man. You already know, man. You gotta show love to the sponsors. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? They keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
And then in this case, lights on and looking good. That's even better.
Oh, even better. Hey, but guess what, man? Starting Monday, just like CEV was able to come on and was able to, let the world understand kind of like why why they sponsor the show and why they do that. Starting Monday, I'm actually going to have, because of the sponsors, man, I got this board. We're going to have a phone call in. So guess what? If you're a sponsor starting Monday, man, we are going to be able to have a call in time where you'll be able to call into the show and actually be able to talk on the show. And we'll be able to talk about what y'all want to talk about and the things that's on y'all mind. We're going to have a specific part in the show when we actually do that. So, man, I'm so excited. And that, hey, man, and I'm about to tell you right now, Boss Cowboy, that only happens because of the sponsors and the supporters. So I appreciate all of you guys, man. Boss Cowboy, what do you think, man? What are your thoughts after hearing after speaking with you, man? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man, Charles been cool day one, man. Like, Charles knocked off, I ain't supposed to say it, but I'm going to say it. Charles knocked off some extra for these glasses. I mean, so they show a lot of love all the time. And that's why everybody should really, even if you're supporting the show, support CEV, because you saw Charles show real love to West Coast. It was genuine. You saw it. The West Coast ain't putting up no front. This is a relationship. So it's a relationship that's built on, guys having respect for each other and doing business, but also cowboy business. So when you see guys that built from nothing, that's building their brands and building entrepreneurship through hard work, I just think it's just right for people to continue to support so that we continue to upgrade. So now I got much love for Jalen. I got much love for Charles. And I'm going to continue to support the brand because actually it's just a win-win, bro. I know I love these glasses. I look good in these glasses. My whole swag changed when I put on these glasses because that's what good glasses are supposed to do.
Exactly, like a haircut, man. If it don't change your swag, go get a new barber, bro. Go get a new barber. Hey, if you walk into the barber shop and you walk out the same dude, go get a new barber, bro. Fire your barber. If your attitude don't change after you get a haircut, go. Yeah, you ain't got the right barber, bro. You ain't got the right barber.
Said that.
Yeah, you ain't got the right barber. He ain't doing his job. Because when I'm gonna tell you, man, my barber come to my house and when he leave, I feel like I want to go live, bruh. Bruh, I want to go live. What you mean?
You put your head back when you drive.
Bruh, you know what I do? As soon as I get a haircut,
to the right, like, girl, I know you like it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
As soon as I get a haircut, bruh, the first thing I'm trying to do is go live. That's the first thing I'm trying to do. Like, what it do, man? This your boy. Like, I feel like my voice turned different. I'm like, I be in the bathroom, like, what's, oh! And then my son come in there and he be like, TJ Cowboy.
Like, no, you're looking at nothing but the birds.
Nothing but the birds. Well, nothing but the birds. Hey, that's my dude, man. That's my dude, though, man. We was on Law Nation show last week. Hey, man, speaking of this, man, because I know you guys are hitting me up and a lot of people are asking me, what am I doing for my draft? What am I doing for my draft? I'm going to be right here with y'all. That's where I'm going to be, right here on the couch with y'all. I'm going to have a whole live show just like we did last year. It's going to be West Coast and Boss Cowboy. We're going to be doing our thing. Then this is what we're going to do. We got the call-in line, right? So we got 32 picks, right? So I'm gonna try to have 32 people call in. So when the Giants pick, right? I'm gonna have a person that you can call in. You can talk about, man, that pick was horrible. The Giants is boo trash. Who bop boop de bam. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I agree with you. They trash in the mud. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. We're gonna do that all night. All night, at least through the draft. We're gonna do it for 3 hours. Why? Because it's like 4.5 hours, man. So you gotta finish with some entertainment. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have us a good time while we watch the Dallas Cowboys pick. Hopefully sell number 17 for a butt love or drag pick. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there is no pick 17. I'm hoping we sell it. What you think, Boss Cowboy? You want to sell it?
Man, I want us to move up.
Oh, here you go, man.
Man, I said that I want us to move up for one of those freak right tackles, and yes, I said it.
Oh yeah.
Move down. I'm team move down still.
Oh, Tony said, "Oh yeah, he got that new laptop. Oh, I got that new laptop. Yeah.
Oh no, it's brand new.
Ooh, yeah, like brand new.
But man, I have a feeling. I think I know who we go pick, bro.
Who you think we gonna pick, man?
I think we go with.
Wait, don't say it because man, we gonna do some draft rankings. We got the guide. Like we gonna see. But what is we got the guide and we got some other things. We got to, you know what I'm talking about? We still got a whole lot of time.
Put it
man.
like this: if we do what we've always done historically, it's gonna be Chase on the CJ, and this is why.
Boss Cowboy, I feel it, but today
We'll
is.
Okay,
thank you.
Okay.
Because what day is today? Today is the 15th. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna stick to what we said in the beginning of the season. That is, we're gonna take it day by day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why we gonna write a book? Why we gonna write a book? If we ain't gonna stick to it. If we gonna write a book, we gonna stick to it. So let's stick to it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna continue our draft, and we're gonna continue our draft, and we're gonna continue to watch over it. And then guess what? We're gonna talk about wide receiver. Why? Because we got Coach Higgins in the building, man. Hold up. Yeah, he about to be in the building. He's in the building. I need to. Oh man, that's another thing we about to have on Sunday too. I'll have effects. Oh my God, I was late. I was up to like 3 o'clock in the morning again last night.
Hey, hold on now. You can't hold me from teasing and then.
Oh no, this is my show. I was up to like 3 o'clock in the morning, and this is what we gonna do. I was up to about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we got a gang of sound effects and the different things that is gonna make this show cracking for the draft. Everything is about making the draft experience ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because we all gonna be here watching it. So that's what we're going to do. And the reason why and I'm going to tell you guys, the reason why we don't, why today on the 15th, we're not going to say who we pick is because at the end of the day, man, you still got a whole nother week and there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be happening between now and then. So why make a show to make a show to make a show to make a show, make a show? Just stick to what we said. Stick to what the book say. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, let's talk about these wide receivers. Why? Because I'm interested. I am interested in what wide receiver coach Jeff Higgins got to say, man. So I'm going to swing y'all to a commercial break, getting mocked up. We're going to be back here in literally like 30 seconds. It ain't going to be as long as last time, I promise you. Last time, if he was swinging his phone and some more stuff.
No, Charles on toilet, everything.
Yeah, man, what the hell you talking about?
What
you doing, man? So, hey, man, all right, so let me get him taking care of y'all. Let me talk about.
I'm a team guy. If I had to
Here we go.
say it,
So, hey, man, what's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man, and we back in the building, man. I told you guys we had a special guest tonight. We only going to call him a special guest one time because it's like this, man. You're only a guest at my house one time. You know what I'm saying? The first time. And I plan on having him on the show a few other times, so we going to call him a guest today. Other than that, after tomorrow, he family, go get your own drink, go get your own plate. Nah, I might have one of the girls go get you a plate. That's hospitality. But what's up with you, Coach, man? What's up with you today? How you doing today, Coach?
doing all right, man. How you guys doing?
Shoot, I'm blessed, man.
Fantastic.
I'm ready to talk about some wide receivers, man. I got this.
About some wow.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about some wide receivers. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Ready to get into this, kind of discuss, who maybe not possibilities of who the Cowboys would draft, but just wide receivers that are draftable, some guys that you like, some guys that we can all agree on that we like, and some guy, and after that we're gonna talk about the current stock of the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe a little Dez Bryant talk, a little Michael Gallup talk. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk a little bit about it. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into this, man, let's just you know what I'm saying? Let's just get into Coach Higgs. Let's talk about your coaching expertise. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of where you come from, where you hail from, and name drop a little bit. That always, drop a little names.
I come from Washington, D.C., so, I don't want to get kicked off here quick, but, what comes from Washington, D.C. is probably them Redskins. But anyway, I grew up in D.C. and right outside in Maryland, and then ended up moving up to upstate New York and played in Division III school. We played all right. We played for a national championship, and I was able to be an All-American and all-time leading receiver at the time of graduation. I had some great teammates and was blessed, and had a little short stint in the NFL, a couple days, got cut, but ended up playing arena football. I did get worked out by old Coach Garrett. If you remember Coach Garrett for the Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked me out up in New Jersey back in the day. A couple other teams, I worked out with. But long story short, played arena football up until 2005, and then coordinated and just had a bunch of names, like you said. I've been fortunate to play for Kevin Porter, who played for Tony Dungy. I played for John Huffenagel, who was up there in Calgary now. He's the GM, but he was the head coach. He did play as a quarterback, but he was the head coach of New Jersey Red Dogs in arena football. And there's kind of a coaching tree that came underneath him. Pete Costanza, who's up in the CFL now. He was with Calgary, and he's with Winnipeg now. And I just kind of took a different route. I only coached 1 year in college after my senior year at Ithaca, and just got into basically coaching high school football and then training wide receivers and training athletes. So now I'm living in Orlando, Florida, and I'm training pros and training some guys that actually are in a draft. And we worked and had a little pro day on the side with some social distancing and got them on film. And that's really it. I mean, there's probably some other names that we could drop, man, but I'm here for you guys and here to talk, football and wide receivers. So it's not really about me, man. I'm part of the team now, so let's roll.
Shoot, I heard that, man. That's a real coach right there, man. He's just like, no, man, let's get on the field. Get straight to the field. So, man, so let's talk about some wide receivers, man. I wanted to, one thing I absolutely enjoy about speaking with you, man, is you're really big on, some college receivers, man. But he shop like us, Boss Cowboy. Like he not going to Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna talk about some Beverly Hills, but he shop on the other ends, like on Mervin's. You know what I'm saying? Like Ross and DD's. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if those them is good stores, but they not they're not the Macy's and the Dillards. You know what I'm saying? Right. But we didn't found some good stuff in there. So what I gave Coach for the first show, I gave him an assignment. I said, this is what we're gonna do. I said, I want you to give me 10. I give me 10 total. Give me five Macy's. You know what I'm saying? These is top of the lines. But then give me five good strong Marshalls or some Ross picks. You know what I'm saying? And so we're gonna talk about those. We're gonna kind of go up through each wide receiver, kind of talk about what you like about them, and kind of get to know you as far as what you use when you're judging wide receivers, man. So shoot, let's jump right into it, man. So, man, I got 10 wide receivers up here. I got 10 wide receivers up here in no particular order. I don't know if you're able to see. Are you able to see it on your end?
I don't see your receivers. So where are they at? Are they on your?
They're on. Are you able to see the show right now? Or are you just looking straight at your Zoom?
I can do both. Hold up.
Oh, okay. If you can't, don't worry. I'll throw a name out there.
No, I got it. I'm going to it.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna do.
Go ahead.
So, boss, you can see him though, right?
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, I can see it fine, man. I see all those receivers.
What you think? West Coast did his thing. That's look good. I'm sitting in the middle, like I'm receiver, right?
Look good, man.
And then you got West Coast
right down with all of them.
Hey, how many yards I'm getting? Look at me. How many yards I'm getting you?
All right. No, hold up.
I can see it fine, man.
Don't do me bad, man. How many yards? Put it in the comment box right now. How many yards West Coast getting you? Look at me.
I don't see it yet because I had a little interference.
It's all good. You good? We good. We professional stallers here. We just keep talking.
Yeah, we know how to stay down. We good.
I had so much interference.
Take your sweet time. We take your sweet time.
Hey, Boss Cowboy, can you see me?
No, I see you fine.
Okay, you can answer my question. How many yards you think I'm getting? Just look at me.
Off the headshots from these receivers. I think you definitely got a first down. You
What?
got one ball drop on there because one of those candidates went back to Alabama. But I did the same thing in my book, so it's okay.
All right, boss Cowboy, go ahead, take it off, man. Let's go ahead, boss. Let me know.
Well, like I want to go ahead while coach is pulling that up. I wanted to get his input on somebody I actually put on my page today, and that's Chase Claypool. I think he's a guy that's, from my perspective, talking to an expert receiver, coach, and trainer. I think he's a guy that's kind of slept on.
And
right?
Chase
I
is the
think
guy
he's
that's to
a
my
guy-
left right here, to the immediate
I
left.
think he's a guy that to me has first round talent, but that's graded around round 2, round 3. And I call it kind of like scout craziness, because to me, when I compared him, my real true comp was Evan Ingram, who's a tight end, obviously. But at the same time, it's the type of separation that Ingram was able to produce going against tight ends. So I know I went outside the box. I know I did. But I want to get coach's opinion on him as a receiver, red zone talent, because that's what we hammering on this show, is getting guys that can get us points, and as a position flex tight end guy. I want to get your thoughts on that, coach.
And real quick, can we do the audience a favor? Anytime we talk to a guy, can we be real repetitive about what school they went to, just so that these guys can go ahead and go?
Notre Dame. It's his school. He's a freak. I would call him a freak, a very freaky athlete, 6'4", 40-inch vertical. He tested off the charts. But he's also a very good football player, more importantly. So he's somebody that, in my opinion, as I'm talking about his background, I believe he's somebody that, especially if you get creative with him, it creates a super weapon with Dak around round 2, round 3. I just wanted to get coach's opinion on him, and then just go from there.
And also, real quick, Coach, if you have the sound on, can I get you to turn it down just a little bit, because it's pulling into the shot. I can hear you. It's here.
And y'all remember, he trains athletes now, so this is not a guy that's.
And this is Chase out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, he deal with these guys all the time. So when he giving us his opinion, he's giving us an expert opinion from training these guys. This is not just some guy off the street.
All right, go ahead, Coach.
Thanks, guys. First off, I had to turn that down. I had the headshots of them guys, and then I had some cross interference, so I just shut down the Facebook. But it's funny, you're talking about looking at these guys, and I'm gonna use the old saying, like, you got that real pretty girl, right? You got the pretty girl, and everybody likes that pretty girl. And sometimes you know what you're gonna get out of the pretty girl, but then at the same time, she might be a little inconsistent. So you don't know how that's gonna roll, right? Where you're looking at a guy like Claypool, and I'm going to go to him specifically from Notre Dame.
Okay.
I mean, consistent is 6'4", 238, 240. Now, this guy, as you're talking about jumping 39 inches at 6'4", 238, running a 4.4, you might think he's the pretty girl for a wide receiver. But then when you can say, well, wait a minute, he can be a guy that can be in 11 personnel, split out as like a flex tight end.
Yeah.
Someone like Travis Kelce,
God.
I mean, he's going to have matchups with safeties, linebackers. Now, you're talking about, okay, 4.42. You don't run a 4.42, inside the 20-yard line, because you're not going to get up to that speed, right? But he's going to run that 4.42 from any point on the field up until the red zone. And then when he gets in the red zone, something called attacking the football.
I'm gone. I don't even hear no more. I'm gone. I'm getting too excited. I'm gone.
Coach, I'm telling you though, man. Now, this is something where, at first doing my board, right? I got my top 10, and we don't need to get into that. We talked about the 5 and 5, and here's the beauty of this draft and the beauty of, a profession like mine or a profession of these scouts. That board is changing all the time.
Yep.
That board is changing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I had him lower 10, right? Then I started thinking, wait a minute. If I'm calling an offense and I want to be dynamic, I need somebody in the middle that can create these matchups. So he went from 10 but then he could have come up to like 1 or 2 as a tight end. So depending on what his use is, this could be something this guy goes. And everybody right now just might be hush hush. But when he gets on the field, he's going to be making plays, and there's no more being quiet, man, because this guy's going to attack the football from Notre Dame. He's a smart kid. He's competed at the highest level. He's been very productive, and you just don't lose that consistency. You don't lose that consistency. Once you're consistent, you're going to be consistent. So
I promise I never talk to coach about this.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you guys, consistency is a conscious decision to be good at something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna be consistent at anything on accident. You know what I'm saying? So when you see someone who's consistently that talks a lot about his work ethic, that talks a lot about the coaches that he's had in front of him, because we've seen a ton of being a freak athlete is not the criteria for making it in the NFL. I mean, and to be honest with you, it's actually probably more freak athletes sitting on the couch than there actually are in the actual NFL. Why? Right. Because of circumstances, or just, this thing called grades killed a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just being able to get in college, that knocked out a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? When you have a guy like that who has that consistency, as a scout's eye, man, because at the end of the day, man, a draft is a lottery. It's a huge lottery ticket.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, it's a gamble. So it's like, you want to get that scratch off ticket. You may get that scratch off ticket that may have, may win you more money. It's going to cost you more, but your probability is going to be lower. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. I actually like that, that thought. So if he comes into the NFL, where would you see him? Because I almost feel like you're saying he's like a hybrid almost like. So where would you see a team taking him, as a tight end or a wide receiver, or what? Because I have him. I know we have him on wide receivers, but he's also listed as tight ends too. So what are you thinking?
Man, I think he's got a lot of room to grow. Okay, 240, right? Running a 4.4. Let's just say, because a lot of these guys I know coming out, just think about yourselves. When you came out at 22, 23 years old, you could put on another 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't even, this is going to be a profession to him. So he hasn't met his full physical capacity. So this guy, to me, I think someone's going to be real smart to try to hybrid him up and make him that flex guy and make him that guy that can create matchups, because now down in the red zone, he doesn't have to play inside. He could be outside jumping over a corner, or he can create matchups all the way down the field with the speed. There's the quickest distance between 2 points is a straight line. You do that from the middle of the field at that size. I mean, so to answer your question, I think he could do both, but I think someone's going to try to, slide him in the middle, make him that hybrid type kid, and that player that we've seen that has, the Jordan Reeds and the Kelseys and, the Kittles and those guys that are, making those plays inside, because that's what the league is all about now, having them guys that can be that basketball type player in there and get that, that dunk for you. So I think, he may, because of that, he may be one of the top, I guess, whether you call him a wide receiver or not. I mean, we could talk about those pretty girls that are going to go, but he's going to be up there anyway, whether it's first round, second round, he's in there. So they could take him as a tight end, but they're not going to lose out as a receiver anyway.
Yeah, and in a West Coast style offense, that hybrid tight end, wide receiver / tight end, man, that's going to work well. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, at the end of the day, like, we have athletic linebackers. We have 2 of them, but most teams don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if he's on the right, you just kind of put him on the left. And if he's on the left, you just kind of put him on the right. That's kind of what football, it's kind of what football is, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the next thing I wanted, we kind of talked about my guy over there who's kind of like a flex. I want to get your thoughts, man. I want to get your thoughts on, this is the one, there's only been 2 players in this entire draft that I've made videos on that I was like, yeah, I really like, or 2 receivers that I really kind of liked when I saw their film. You know what I'm saying? And my boy Mims was one of them, and Pittman was the other one. Now, funny story, I made this. Pittman. I don't know why. I don't know why. I should slap myself for not putting him on here, because he definitely meets the mold. I don't want him to think that I forgot about him, but he definitely meets the mold. But I did get Mims on here. I did get Mims out of Baylor, and I'm gonna tell you guys, with Baylor being right down the street, I have a feeling that the Dallas Cowboys know him intimately. You know what I'm saying? Like these professional programs, they be knowing the players that's close, especially them in-state guys. So I want to know, man, what are your thoughts on a guy like my boy Mims out of Baylor?
You know, it's funny you say that, man. I'm looking at my board here that I have, and as I told you, ever changing. Claypool moved up, and Mims was the guy, and you know, not to second guess another guy out of Alabama, the Judy guy, but originally I had him a little higher. Then I started looking at film and started looking at some results, and I mean, we can't deny that Mims is an inch taller. He's running a tenth faster. He runs his shuttle a little faster. And he's the man. Like, he's the guy. So you're looking at Alabama, you got a few guys, but he's had that weight on his shoulders, so to speak. So I don't know, man. He just moved up higher on my board. I've got him top 5, maybe 4. With, you know, the kid from USC and Pittman, as you mentioned him, you know, it's in the genes with him, with his dad playing. And you know, I look at how McCaffrey came thinking about his dad playing, and he came in opposites. You know, one was a receiver, the kid was a running back. Here, the father was the running back, and he's the receiver. But both of those guys, I think, are going to be really good. And I think I have to agree with you. Being right down the street, I think they know him pretty well. You know, I don't know about the personal interviews that may or may not have been taken or they've been having, but I just look at the scheme and fitting into the offense of what's happening. And obviously, if you know what you mentioned West Coast, so if you know what Mike McCarthy has done in the past, and coming in there, I mean, that'd be a good fit. I mean, that's all I can tell you. That'd be a good fit.
Coach,
Yes,
I coined a statement. Stop copying off people that make D's. Why I say that? Because 40% of the people that's drafted in the first round are busts. But a lot of people like to get their opinions from people and analysts as if they are the final validation of if you're thinking right or not. So obviously, with your receiver experience and training these guys, what would be from your board what most would consider a surprise? Because I heard you kind of leak a little bit from your board, and I see you looking at it now. That you got some surprises up there, like Mims, possibly ahead of Judy. Now, from popular opinion, people would literally freak out on that. But what people got to understand is that it's people like Coach that's literally going to make these decisions. Could you talk about a surprise that's not popular, but you justified from what you saw on film?
Yeah, and let me back up just a second to give the listeners and, of course, yourselves, and maybe even to validate my own thoughts. But here's the deal. We got how many rounds in the draft? How many rounds do we have?
7.
Okay, 7 rounds. And every year, right? Every single year, there's somebody from round 7, round 6, round 5, round 4 that we say, well, that should have been a first round pick.
Dak Prescott.
Right? Because the first round pick or the second round pick may not have done what everybody projected.
Right.
So my philosophy is I don't listen to the projections. I don't listen to anybody else projecting. I watch what I know, what I think, because I'm going to take calculated risks. And if I'm going off somebody else, what they're thinking, well, then I want to know how are they coming up with them thoughts. And that's what we're going to get to, how I'm getting to mine. So we know from the basis of a receiver position, we know, okay, we got to catch the ball. We know we got to run. We know, all right, we want to give effort. But what do all those things mean? So when I pull up the film and I watch cut-ups, and I'll be real, I don't watch a lot of college football. But when it's time for me to evaluate or to work with a player and get them better, I'm watching their film and I'm seeing the things I'm talking about. What do you do when, Mims has got a backside post and you're the other receiver? What are you doing backside?
Yeah.
Are you running a dig route full speed when you're not the number one read? Okay. When he catches a touchdown, what are you doing? Are you running down? These things matter to me as a coach. Are you running back to the huddle? What do you do when you drop a football? How do you go back to the huddle? Is it different? Is it the same as when you scored a touchdown?
Yeah.
What do you do the next 3 plays? What do you
Hmm.
do the next 3 plays after you make a mistake? Or what do you do the next 3 plays after you make a play?
This your
You
DNA.
make one again. So these are the basis of things. But then I look at, let's just take, and I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to take a guy that's not even on that board, right? Not meaning on anybody's board. Let's take a guy like Parker from Rhode Island. Look him up.
Actually, he's
Okay,
on here.
running-
He's on there,
running
buddy.
a 4.5 40, right?
Yeah.
He's on here.
But he runs a 4.2 4.1 shuttle. So what that tells me is he's got enough speed to play in the league, 4.5, but then he can change direction and get out of his breaks as a 4.1. So if you can run 0.3, 0.4 better than your 40 to your shuttle,
You're moving.
man, you can get out of them breaks and you
Yep.
create separation, right? Now, some of these guys that didn't run a shuttle or I didn't have a shuttle time on, now I go back to the film, right? So now think of a director, player, personnel, or a scout. If you don't know and you can't compare, and I look at a guy like Judy, right? You're taking him, and nothing against him, great ball player. But I know what the other guy does. The other guy runs a 4.27. And sometimes when we run that fast, getting out of the breaks, it is important, but you've got a skill that you just go right by people straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I'm not sure that Judy can get out of breaks as fast because he didn't run a shuttle, but then I got another guy from a different school that I know can do it and was the man or did it on his own, I might move him higher up on the board because back to the beginning again, somebody in that 5th round, 4th round, 3rd round might outplay a 1st round, 2nd round. And if you're going to go by the data that you're looking at and the film that you're looking at, to me, I like what I see. I like the mannerisms and the body language of a competitor, of somebody that is a team guy, somebody that is going to work. And we'll get to some other guys that, might not be high on people's lists, but that's why they got the draft, man. That's why some guys get paid. And that's why some guys go home after training camp and their 1st round pick. I mean, it does happen.
Yeah.
That gives you
That's
the
true.
basis of my decision making. But I guess overall, too, you look at the overall development of somebody like some of these guys. You guys that developed like they were a quarterback and then became a receiver. Now, that was my position. I was a quarterback, got switched into the receiver position. So I learned it in college. Sometimes that can help if I know that a guy's status because I'm like, wait a minute. He's played receiver for 3 years? Hold up. He's got some room. He's got some room to grow. And he's an athlete, obviously, because he played quarterback. I might look into further his background. Was he a point guard? Or was he a shooting guard or a forward because he couldn't dribble? You don't think that matters?
Yeah,
It matters. It matters. So it's not the overall basis of what you're going to do, but it gives you the more data that you have and the more data that you collect and the more information you collect, the better of an informed decision you can make. I mean, that's as easy as I can make it. But, back to that, I can also be wrong. But if you're wrong less times than you're right and you can bat about, 800, 80%, you got a job, man. So that's
Yeah,
what
you
it's
do.
about.
Great. Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean by we need to stop copying off people that
Yeah.
make these. Like, have your own analysis, have your own process, because stuff like that. Now, you did a real good job of explaining some of the intangible stuff that you watch on film. Who are some of the guys that you would say stand out with the right intangibles, such as like running back to the huddle, having the right attitude, whether you scored a touchdown or dropped the ball? Like, so who are the guys that we wouldn't see, but you're looking for to say, okay, he knows how to win, but more importantly, he also knows how to lose. So he's going to be more steady. Who would be those receivers that kind of caught your eyes? You've been reviewing your board.
I take a kid like TCU, Rigger,
Yeah.
5'11", ran a 4.47. He only ran a 4.45 shuttle, about the same. That doesn't mean he's bad. It just, he might have some room to work. But I like those intangibles. I'll talk about a kid that we didn't even talk about yet. Kid down in UCF, Gabriel Davis, 6'2", 216.
Love him.
Love him. Yeah, I got him up here too.
216.
Yeah, he's on the
I can
list.
just see the fire. I see
Yeah.
the competitiveness.
Right.
I see that it doesn't matter what happened to me. The next play is the only one that matters. That's somebody that I like. That's somebody I want to coach. So I'm looking at it from a perspective of, can you just do the next one because it's the only one that matters, because that's how he's living each day.
Yeah.
if you play like that on the field, that's how you live in your life, because discipline isn't necessarily a consequence, or it's a way of life. So guys like that, you can see the discipline in them, and you can also know the program and how the programs ran, right? And you can figure out, the camaraderie and the family atmosphere amongst the team. Are they going to bring that? Do they have to learn that? Those are things that, when they have the interview process at the draft and they go through all those psychologically, tests that they give, those conversations, that you can really find out. Somebody like me that's not in there yet, given those questions and taking part in that, I have to really watch and be detailed on what are they doing on the sideline? What are they doing coming out when they're getting introduced to run on the field? How do they look given their interviews, or where are they at the end of the game? Those are some things that you can find out a lot about people, man. So I make it really easy. Old pro coach taught me long ago, you are being evaluated at everything you do. It's that simple. How you stretch, how you interact. But to answer your question, Gabe Davis, Rieger kid from TCU, also even the kid from Arizona State, kid. I like that one too. Don't know a tremendous amount about the backgrounds, and that would be the next thing that if I was going to make draft picks myself, I would want to know the backgrounds. I mean, pre-college and even further. But these are all guys that that stand out. So some of them seem prettier than others. Some of them, might be consistent, but we're looking for that long-term relationship so that we can build something and have a family and not go through much turmoil that we need. And we ultimately want to win in life, which is the Super Bowl, So those are guys you need. But
yeah, man. And you also want to make sure these guys have the ability to get better each and every year. You know what I'm saying? And do they want to get better each and every year? You know what I'm saying? Because there's just the will to get better, because you being a pro your rookie year is not going to keep you in the league your second year. You know what I'm saying? And coming back the exact same player will literally get you out the NFL, because each and every year someone, even if they don't get better, you know what they do? They replace them. You know what I'm saying? So you have fresh legs now.
Right? The old saying.
Each and every day,
the day
man.
they sign you is the day they're looking to replace you.
Exactly, man.
It's the what have you done for me lately league.
So, man, let's jump into the big three, man, because I know there's three big names out here. I want to know, man, if you had to name right now your top three receivers in this class, man, who do you think would be your top three receivers in this class?
And I just like the 4.27 by Ruggs. I like the level of play that he played at. Would Ruggs from Alabama, he's 5'11", 188, 198 in that range. Ran a 4.27. He just reminds me of like Tyreek Hill, you just can't turn down that speed. Tremendous, playmaking ability at the biggest spotlight, the biggest times. Same thing with Lamb from Oklahoma. 6'2", bigger kid. That's definitely a little bit more attractive. And he's around the 200-pound range, so he's pretty thick. He's also running a 4.5, and again, he's done it to a very high level. Now, when you're talking after those two, you could potentially get some of these other guys you're talking about, have to move them real up. I personally, just because of playing in SEC and still running with a 4.4, and he's 6'1", I've got Jefferson right now from LSU. But again, that's why we talk about this stuff, and I'm never gonna, if they give me reasons why people pick other guys, I'm gonna listen. I want to look at it. I may change, but I'm never gonna, change what I'm saying and formulating my opinion to back my claim. But I'm also not really going to, I don't want to use the term argue, but you just don't know. I mean, I look at some of the picks that we've had personally from my favorite team. And I mean, we had first round picks I thought were going to be great. And I liked them coming out. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't say, even from training guys, that, yeah, this is a good pick. And it didn't work out. Because sometimes there's one intangible that we don't know and this is something you can't see sometimes, is they get in the league and then all of a sudden they're complacent. And then, like you said, when you get complacent, you're not competing. And if you don't compete, you're going to end up going home.
Yeah.
So I don't see that with these guys because they've competed at the highest level. And then there's some of them guys that are real hungry we were talking about. I think they're going to make it too. But, that does happen. People do make mistakes. And that's why it's such a, multi-billion-dollar business. But so back to your question, Ruggs, Lamb, Jefferson. I told you Mims was moving up a little bit for me. And, I had Claypool as a such a dynamic specimen and Pittman. And I like Davis as far as his work ethic and his competitiveness. So I think he can go, if he doesn't go second round, he's in the third round, he's gonna be a gem, I believe. But that's who I got. But I mean, I'd like to hear what you think. I wanna hear some questions or intangibles I might not be thinking about. You might give me information that, I didn't think about that way. And it's good to hear that because that's more information to make a better I guess calculated risk, so to speak, because it is a risk. It's always a risk. Whoever you take.
Well, I'm gonna throw you another one, man. I'm gonna throw you a kind of a twist. You know what I'm saying? Because the Cowboys, we don't just necessarily need a wide receiver because we just signed Amari Cooper. We just re-signed Amari Cooper, $100 million, $20 million a year. We have Michael Gallup as your firm second, as your number 2 wide receiver. So it's like we're looking for like a number 3. But something also that translates into points. I need a guy who doesn't need a whole lot of snaps to get up to where he needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Because at a number 3, you're probably in the NFL going to get 4 targets. You know what I'm saying? But they need to be very meaningful. And more importantly, I need a guy who can translate into points. Dallas Cowboys, we were the number 1 passing team in the NFL, but we were like, I think 17th in scoring. And that's and basically what that says to the fans, if you're wondering what that means we got all the way to the club and did not go in. We got dressed, got a new outfit, got a shirt, you know what I'm saying, had your homeboy check your breath, how my breath smell, feel good, you know what I'm saying, we good, walked all the way up to the door and then turned right back around and got in the car. You know what I'm saying? We got all the way. Huh?
You didn't have the cover fee, man.
Exactly. Like we could get to the red zone, but we could not get in. We just couldn't get in. So I want to know, man, what is a guy, I know this, we have a 17th pick, but and could the Cowboys, draft a wide receiver in the first round? Absolutely. Absolutely. It could happen. I've seen stranger things happen. But I just feel like with the signing of Amari Cooper and Gallup, I don't know if that would be a good, a good allocation of funds. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that'd be that's like buying more jelly and you already got 2 things of jelly in the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? But who doesn't love jelly? You can always have more. But I want to know, man, let's talk about some stuff that's actually pertaining to the Dallas Cowboys. Who is a guy and who I can get possibly, what do you think, round? What round you thinking, Boss Cowboy? Between third
safe pick for us that also matches to me McCarthy's history because he generally doesn't target weapons to round 3, round 4 historically.
There we go. That's what I was gonna say.
So I think round 3 and round 4 would be the target areas that fit his history. So give me like a guy that kind of out of the 13 years he's at Green Bay, 10 of his first round picks was defense. And the majority was defensive tackle. So I don't think if McCarthy's going to be McCarthy historically, then we're going to see I think round 3 and round 4 is where we should try to get a window of offense. So who would be your third round 3, round 4 guys that fit West Coast dimension of somebody that doesn't stall out and doesn't lose his advantages where we need, which is the red zone guy, basically?
Well, how about somebody like, I'm not necessarily thinking about red zone yet, but I'm thinking about in that round. I think guys like KJ Hill, Ohio State. Okay. Productive, high level. He's not the fastest guy. He's a 4.6, but he can play in the slot. Something to take note of with the Cowboys, though, and this depends. It would be if they really are going to sign Dez, and it looks to me like they may want to, and there's some interest there. That's somebody now. that could actually, if he comes in at a high level, he could play inside. So that's a big target.
Who?
So
Dez can play inside?
He could.
Wait, time out. Wait. You said Dez Bryant can play slot? Because there's this group of people that have shirts already printed up that say Dez Bryant can't play slot. I don't know what's going on. So,
has anybody ever seen Dez Bryant in person?
Well, they say because he plays the X and he's always been the X and he's so big. I mean, you can't play a slot. What do you mean, coach? He could play slot?
We're just talking about Claypool at 6'4", 240, and we want to look at him at slot, but we can't determine. I tell you what, if you said, hey, Dez, I want to give you X amount of dollars, and I'm going to move you around. So I'm going to have you run across the line of scrimmage from slot to slot. You're going to figure out the coverage, and when you do that, Dak is going to know the coverage, and you're going to come out of your break, and you're going to catch it, and we're going to do this 5-6 times a game, and you just do your thing, man. You're going to be on safeties and linebackers. What do you think Dez would say?
James. That's what he was asking for. Like when he was a Dallas Cowboy, like that's what he was asking for.
I think I'm gonna go.
I'm saying though, and with another factor in here, and I don't want to get off getting the guys in the 3rd, 4th round, but also Pollard is another guy that could do that. You got.
Wait, time out. Time out.
I'm leaving.
Hey, coach.
You upset with me now?
No, I'm not upset with you. I'm not upset with you.
We upset at that don't. Listen,
Hey, coach. Can I say, hey, look, and coaches and Craig and
I see he did it in college.
Hey, coach, coaching integrity. I never talked to him about moving Pollard to the slot. Never.
You know
what I'm saying? The only thing I talked to him about,
none of the conversations ever happened.
Go ahead, coach. Go ahead. What are your thoughts about Dez and Pollard?
No, but listen, I'm gonna give you an old. Even if it's not the slot, okay? Let's get off the slot so everybody that knows.
Stay on the slot. Stay on the slot.
Stay on the slot. We're
okay.
actually like excited, and we're like,
I'm gonna give you this envision right now.
Right? Go ahead.
All right.
So you got Gallup on one side, you've got Amari on the other.
Okay.
You've got Elliott in the backfield. Okay, now hear me out first. You're gonna think I'm crazy. Pollard's in the backfield also. And then in the slot, you've got Dez. Dez now moves back off the line of scrimmage. Gallup moves up. Dez can motion across. He stops. Pollard comes out of the backfield, goes the other side.
Oh, my God.
So now what we've done is we've kind of like switched, and we're trying to figure out what's the coverage. Mm-hmm. So now we figure out man zone, and that's just a pre-snap read. I get it. My point is there's only so many guys on one side, even if they're man or zone, that could cover either player. So my point to that is McCarthy or an NFL coaching staff, they are going to be a little bit more in tune than not only you, me, and him, but all these fans that don't necessarily agree that they can create matchups. But I know this. That's a lot of speed on the field.
Thank you.
That's a lot of speed.
West Coast, I'm going to die.
If he comes and I'm just saying, if he's out of shape, if he doesn't run as fast, if he doesn't do any of that, there's one thing that Dez Bryant always did.
What is it? What is that, coach? Tell us.
He can muscle them. He can muscle them. He could go up. So even let's say we don't do that, right? Let's just say Dez now is on the line of scrimmage inside, and Pollard runs outside. Now who's going to be out there? You're going to bring the corner out there with him? You're going to bring a linebacker with him. And that you've seen this. These are guys. You've seen this happen with other teams that take the running back, get him out there all the way on the edge to figure out the coverage.
It is a stiff on him.
Exactly. I mean, you got a lot of options here between quick screen, throw it up backside to Amari. I mean, I get that those guys are not as red zone-esque, but not because they are not guys that go up and get it, but because they didn't have somebody dynamic in the middle to free a little bit up. You got to pick something, man. Pick your poison.
Yeah.
And by the way, can't Dak run a little bit?
Man.
So go ahead, cover everybody. Then what happens?
And the thing about it is, it's like the CBA the collective bargain agreement, it makes it impossible for you to be able to cover everybody. Because
Correct.
because the thing about it is, like, there shouldn't be a situation where the Dallas Cowboys should even be able to add Dez Bryant without him tearing a hole in your salary cap. You know what I'm saying? The dude has 73 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. But the cool thing about Dez has already made it overtly obvious that he's going to give the Dallas Cowboys a discount. So it's like, why not take the discounts and the points? And the points. And then that's like, and this is my thing about, this is one of the bigger things that I've honestly been, and I know people say, people act like rookies can't play. I do believe that rookies can play, but this is my thing. As good as a rookie is, you bring someone as your third receiver, you're trusting him with 40 to 50 plays a game in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, Tyrone, for the super chat. You're asking this dude for 40 to 50 plays on the field. He may not be touching the ball, but he's going to be on the field, a part of the offense. So that means 40 to 50 times he's going to do the right thing. And like, what do we say? We pick players in college based on what? How they block downfield, how they do those types of things, because in the NFL, everybody's fast, everybody's big. So all those little things matter. They all matter because everybody's fast. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
No, I just had a thought too, and looking at a little more research with Pollard in college, right? Check this now, right? You got Zeke, and I don't care if this is goal line or field, but I mean, a lot of teams use this in the red zone too. I'm gonna call it right now, man. How about the quick screen game to someone like Pollard out there, or where Dez is out there getting in front of blocking, or vice versa. Pollard is coming down and now Dez is catching, the quick pass game out there, the quick screen game. When you've got somebody on the backside like Amari, you're not going to leave that guy with one-on-one, a safety somewhere. And if not, then we're going to take that advantage. Now, if you're going to play a certain team,
that's true.
Let's just say you don't like that matchup that, I don't know, as an example, the kid that used to be in Jacksonville, right? Ramsey. Let's just say, okay, I don't like my matchup right now with Ramsey against, Amari. So I'm going to leave him backside. Okay. Well, now you got your front side trip set, your backside single set, and you still got Zeke in the backfield.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
who can catch like a mother?
Listen,
bruh.
I'm telling you, and this is coming from not a Cowboys fan. This is coming from someone that knows the game, that knows there's going to be a lot of excitement, man, coming down there this year. I think things are going to change. I think, in the beginning, in training camp, or even in, the preseason. When I say rocky, I don't mean that it won't look productive. I just mean it's going to be new. The system's learning new. Guys are going to be moving around, but it's all going to be for a purpose. And then that defense is still going to play. Mm-hmm. They're going to have some draft products. The mojo's different. Nothing against Jason Garrett, but let's just be real, just didn't get it done. I mean, it didn't happen. There was some good winning, but you gotta get to the, to the ultimate game. You got a guy that's done it. And I have a feeling, man, that everybody's going to be happy down in D, and that's not a team that I want to play with all them athletes. And Pollard's coming into his second year. If Dez is out there, he is going to be hungry, which is going to put pressure on Gallup because he had the dropsies. He's got to fix it. He definitely's got to fix it. But I think he can. I mean, he still made plays. And a long time ago, Coach said, if I seen you make a play, you can make it again. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Hey, I just wanted y'all to envision this, right? Envision a situation, right, where you got Zeke in the backfield, right? Backfield. Here, you could be in a 4 wide receiver set. You know what I'm saying? You already got Amari on this side. You got Gallup on this side. You got Dez on the inside. You got Pollard on the inside. And then Dak lifts that big old leg to his. And you know what that means? Oh, somebody move it. And then Zeke come out the backfield. Imagine going 5 wide with names like Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Dez Bryant, Tony Pollard, and Ezekiel Elliott. Those are, you know what those are called? We call those man beaters. Those are guys I can look at and be like, can you win your route? You know what I'm saying? Because in football, sometimes that's what can you beat your man? That's and when you go, when you go 5 wide, there ain't no, when you 5 wide, everybody, it's man on man. You keep your man, I got my man. Bruh, I don't see. And then you still have the threat of Dak running. Like and the cool thing about it is, like, even if you imagine this, a guy like Dez coming into the Dallas Cowboys, the expectation on him is so low because I think like there'll be sometimes like in and around because of what he's known to do, or in and around the red zone, man, you could decoy the heck out of him. Just decoy him. You ain't even got to throw the ball at him, because if you're a third string wide, if Dez is in the slot, that means there's probably a third or fourth string corner on you. There's a guy who's trying to make it in the NFL, and guess what? Right before the game, he was watching YouTube, and on YouTube, they got this thing called Dez Bryant's Ultimate Highlights, and every time he's putting his NUTs on someone's head, and guess what? Now that cornerback is in his head. And that's what I always tell about people. It's like, you may think he's washed up because you're watching from the fans, from the stands. But you ask that year 1, year 2 corner, does he want to be standing in front of Dez Bryant on the 7-yard line? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
I'll tell you this. You ask any wide receiver coach in the NFL right now, if you could have a healthy, competitive, and productive, but that's the key, and and I believe he will be, Dez Bryant in only just the red zone. He only plays in the 10-yard line in. I bet you I know what 32 different coaches will say.
Yes.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I mean, especially when, and it's just looking at the Cowboys, it fits in. I mean, we haven't even touched, like Jarwin, we haven't gone there at all. And I know he's a tight end, but he's made some plays and he got better, man. He's,
no doubt.
He's definitely improved. And that's a guy that someone's going to forget about, right?
Former wide receiver too.
I hope not.
Former wide receiver. Well, I hope they forget about him because he got 5 touchdowns on the Giants alone.
Yeah. But my point is, man, that if you can get something like that accomplished and you don't have to move up to take a Claypool or something like that, right? You don't have to do that in the draft. And you got a Dez Bryant that's going to come in and, whatever the snaps count is, I don't think he needs to be on a pitch count. I think he can be a major contributor, but only even just in the red zone, that is such a plus. But they will formation everybody. They will motion guys. They will create matchups. And then just when you're thinking you're creating a matchup, now all of a sudden, you can't argue he's in the top 2 to 3 running backs in the league. Now you hand it to him. He might be the best.
Yeah.
Overall running back, so it's going to be something, man. It's going to be interesting to see. And I just think those matchups and seeing, that big target down there go up over people and create the matchups and formations, I think you're going to see Dak move around a little bit more. I mean, I'd like to see that myself. If I was coaching, that's what I would do. And that's not a knock on his pocket presence. That's just trying to utilize his athleticism. Because he's smart too, man. He's one of them guys that'll get out. He'll get you 5 or 6. He'll just go out of bounds. We'll play the next one. He's not going to try to run anybody over.
Yeah.
Unless the game's on the line, and we've seen that.
That's a smart trait too.
He's smart,
man.
Yeah. So
with that smack.
Hey, remember when Johnny Manziel tried to take on a linebacker to prove that he was better, and then the linebacker hit him, and Johnny just laid there.
I want to comment. Man, I got so much I want to go over real quick on these receivers, but I want to flip it real quick since you're a Washington fan.
Oh no. Go ahead.
No, just from this standpoint, because we both played, so we study our opponents. So I'm taking it from that standpoint. And I know this awful receive. I'm sorry, everybody. But what y'all gonna do about quarterback?
It's funny. I'm looking at this. When you just get that feeling, because you're not at practice every day, but something like that smoke that comes, there's smoke and there's smoke and there's smoke, and like you're like, man, there's got to be fire, right?
Right.
Something tells me that people know something, meaning the kid ain't what we thought he was.
Haskins.
And I don't want that. Trust me. I do not want that. However, when you already come in as a head coach and things aren't really clear, and then you bring in your number 2 that you benched Cam for, or kept him in, didn't really bench him, but kept Kyle Allen in, and you go out and get him. And now you say it's going to be competitive.
Right.
That's like, I don't know. I mean,
So you know I'm leading with that question, right?
man, I don't want to do that.
So you don't want to go to it?
No, I don't want to do that. I want to trade down. We got to build.
Okay.
We got to build, bro.
That makes sense to me. Because honestly, as much as y'all got a chance to get an absolute monster, even that monster almost start looking like too much of a waste, because y'all kind of already super good at defensive end, and I already got the freak of last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's on. I'm not your GM, but I wouldn't really,
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we got to swallow our pride and get a second round pick for Trent if we're lucky. If we can do that, I just look at maybe trading down and you just pick, man. What do you want to do? Linebacker, safety, corner? I mean, you just what do you want to do? Because we need old linemen.
Yeah.
And then we got quarterback. But see,
Right.
this is why I say not a quarterback. I'm not saying I'm putting my stock in Kyle Allen and talking about the smoke and the fire, but he was decent. And if we've got a decent, not good, just decent
QB.
Yeah. So if you're really looking at it like, okay, we got new coaching staff, we got to build. How long does a quarterback really take in the league to fully develop? You already know this. It's always like 4 to 5 years. So to me, no matter what, we're 4 years away. No matter what.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to go out and get someone else.
Yeah.
So if I know that plan and the old plan, even if I'm wrong, right? Well, what happened with the old plan? The old plan didn't work multiple times. So I'm not trying to be insane and do the same thing over and over and look for a different result. No.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing, Dan. And if you don't like it, I'm taking my ball and going home. You know what I'm saying?
And
for real.
Yeah.
Now I do want to pivot real quick, just back to receiver.
Real quick, before we get off, boss, real quick, because I wanted to say something on that on the Washington too, and also you also got to remember something also too is like, man, with everything being we are in a state of pandemic right now, so everything is being ultraly cut in half. Like they're talking about virtual training for football. I'm like, what? What does that mean? It means them looking at a laptop, looking at plays. You know what I'm saying? That's not real working out. But I mean, you got to remember, we don't know when we're going to get off this lockdown, right? So think about this. Think about adding a third quarterback into a scenario. So now you're already going to have limited reps. You're already going to have a condensed training camp. So it's like, when would you have the opportunity to throw and if you draft someone in the early rounds, it's going to be priority to get him to get out there and find out if this guy can play. But you still have a Haskins on who you have a 15th pick in, and then you have the guy that you just brought in, the other guy who you obviously have faith in because he's coming from an old system. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the fact that you brought him in from your former team lets you know that it's like, if, I don't know if y'all watched the movie, not the movie, but the show Ozark. If you don't watch the Ozark, man, you got to watch that show. But you remember how, you know what I'm saying, when they brought that other dude in, and it's like, yeah, he obviously is in a position of authority. Why? Because he came with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to believe that since he brought a quarterback with him, that means when he was looking into the job, he was like, yeah, that quarterback either reminds me too much of Cam Newton, or it just reminds me of something I don't want to get involved in. And the reason why I say it has nothing to do with football is because technically Rivera has never coached. He's never coached Haskins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he has to. Yeah. So it's like, so think about this. So he's making, like, unfortunately, like, I gotta call BS on Ron when he said, if he, in his mind, if he's saying that I don't like it because of football decisions. Well, bro, you don't know him football decisions. Like, you don't know him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to compound one this bad decision on top of another bad decision, then to add it's like a man with two girls. Then you gonna get a third one? Like, you already don't got time for them two. Now you about to add a third one. If they added a third quarterback in there, I honestly think it would put them further further along. Like, I think it would be worse. The Washington Redskins need to do what the Dallas Cowboys did, and that is this. Say, you know what, fans? And I'm going to tell you this. The Cowboys did this with Dak Prescott 2 years ago when everybody 3 years ago when everybody wanted to Romo. You know what they said? They said, hey, we're going to do what's best for the team. Shut up. Romo, we love you. Go retire.
I'm not going to lie to you, Coach.
Go retire as a Maverick. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need to do. They need to pick somebody.
Yeah, when I looked at tape on Haskins, I don't see a bad player from college to the NFL.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Haskins?
I see a real good player.
What are your thoughts on him?
I kind of wonder, is it what West Coast said? Like, because we went through that same thing with Aikman, where we had quarterback controversies and kind of indecisiveness early in his career. And once we decided to stop, and settled and said, this is our quarterback, he settled into the champion he became, So I do agree that sometimes it's smoke and fire, but then sometimes front office just stupid, and it could be that because, like, at the end of the day, as an ex-player, coach, and trainer that you are now, right, we all witness politics in football to where sometimes you got a guy at the top that's not betting on you and there's some egos involved, favoritisms, right?
Yep.
Because I'm like, God, like, I just don't get it. Like, I watch Haskins play, and I call West Coast. I say, bro, this dude dangerous. You know what I mean? I said, no, he's dangerous.
He
can throw and throw people open, not just throw. I'm talking about because he was playing with all rookies. His whole receiving, they threw him to the wolves and he performed.
Yeah.
So,
in a nutshell, Coach, what are your thoughts on Haskins?
Like I said, I saw a lot of development. But I think,
is he where he's supposed to be year two? That's what I'm.
Well, I'm going to piggyback off what Marcus said, because sometimes the circumstance of the things that you don't want to get involved, that you are involved with because of other people having their philosophical differences,
right,
affect not just your play, but your development, the team's mojo, and everybody's looking around going, what is going on? I mean,
what's this?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got someone that we wanted to pay whatever X $1 million, I'm talking about Trent now, and he don't even want to play. And we got a new coach, everything, and he's still saying,
get rid of him. You got to get rid of him, man. You got to go.
I mean, because if you that tells you something. You know what I mean? That tells you something. Now, and I don't know that it's definitely involved in the idea of the politics, but, like, do you know where? So we brought back the corner from Kansas City that we used to have him, right? Kendall Fuller.
Okay.
We got Haskins. We got there's like, I'm trying to remember, there's 2 or 3 more guys, and they're all from that area. And I don't know if sometimes nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you can play, but you know where I'm going with this, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
If it smells like favoritism, if it smells like good old boyism, kind of is.
I just
some
hope
organizations have
and
that stint.
Yeah, and think about this though. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all though. The funny thing about it is, like, I mean, Haskins even getting to Washington, I think had a little favoritism to him, because I remember the biggest story coming out about him getting drafted was his relationship with the owner and his relationship with the owner's families and things like that. So it's like, I'm gonna keep it real, man. Like, whenever, like, even with some guys we've drafted, like, I don't like hearing more non-football stuff about you. Like, I don't care about you being a good guy. Like, I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we all got to be good men on the inside, but I don't want to hear, like, I want to hear, like, oh, he's always in the A gap. Like, tell me stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like, you get what I mean? Because I feel like when you're giving me more in, like, because at some point, the intangibles shouldn't necessarily sell you. The intangibles is what keeps you. The foundation of who you are as a player. Do you work hard? Are you fast? That's your foundation. The intangibles, that's what puts you over top between everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like sometimes what they'll do is they'll sell you on the cherries, but then you taste the cake and you're like, damn, the cherry tastes good, but everything up under this icing is not substance. You know what I'm saying? It's not good.
Haskins can flat out play.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a Washington Redskins fan, so I'm not. I
wanted to talk to you definitely for the intel and just to see if my mind was mixing with your mind as somebody who knows the game, knows receivers, knows weapons. Now,
Last question before we get up out of here
Obviously,
too.
my background is corner, so I feel like I know that very well. You talked about some really good stuff on how to read receivers from the intangibles. You also talked about reading them athletically from knowing how to really gauge their skill set from looking at more shuttle than 40 because that's grading breaks.
Yeah.
What are some of the other, before we let you go, what's some of the last things that you look for in a receiver, because you talked about the intangibles, you talked about the measurables. What are some of the last things that you look for in a receiver to kind of spot that person that could be that second and third round guy that just didn't get the hype?
I'm looking for a guy that makes plays in the big moments. That it factor.
That it factor.
Because you might get a
question.
guy
Who is your number one receiver? And I'm gonna tell you mine at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Jefferson.
Lambs.
All right. So hey man, I did have a question from the scouts, man, and I did need to get this in real quick because they keep the lights on in here, man. It is actually a question I wanted to know too, man. You're a wide receiver coach, man. I am a young wide receiver. I have a ton of potential, and you know what I'm saying? I got the swag, I got the ear, I got the little, when they get swag, year 2 they get the earrings, I got the cufflinks. But for whatever reason, I drop a lot of football, man. I drop a lot of footballs. And it's getting to the point where guys like West Coast and Boss Cowboy starting to notice. You know what I'm saying? You're dropping a lot of football. My guy, Mike, I'm not even trying to put no names out there, but it's just, I understand your rookie year, but your second year, he dropped more balls, right? And then also, we family over here, so we can tell each other when they breath stink. You know what I'm saying? Cooper dropped some balls too. You know what I'm saying? God dang it. And so when I see a whole core doing it, I feel like that's some coaching, bruh. Right. If it's one person,
receiving core is dropping, that's coaching.
And just think about this. Like we didn't all been in organizations, you know what I'm saying, where we didn't, or if you didn't play paid football, you didn't been on a team where you'd be like, hey, where coach at? Yeah, he ain't here no more. Well, what happened? All y'all wasn't doing y'all job. That's what happened. So he loses his job. So it's like, so I kind of knew Sanjay was gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Dallas Cowboys had the number. We led. We were number 1 in the NFL. And then think about this, coach. Think of all the opportunities we missed. Dak had the best statistical season he ever had in his career. We had 2 wide receivers. Hold on, I didn't even get there yet. We had 2 wide receivers go over 1,000 yards and another wide receiver get 840 yards. We had with the number 1 drops in all the NFL.
Yeah.
And we lost 5 games by less than 4 points. And you lead the NFL in drops. You're not going to tell me that didn't have something, that Adam didn't have something to do with Eve. Like that had something to do with something. So I need to know, coach. I need to know. You're interviewing for a job. How you doing, man? I need to know, man. I got this new coach in here. I'm Jerry. How you doing? Mm-hmm. Don't mind him. He's Steven. He looks kind of like me, but he's younger. I need to know, son. We got this problem over here. Got these young gentlemen out here. I need to know. Don't give me a long answer. Give me the right answer. How are we fixing these here drops there, son?
Every error is a coaching error, Jerry.
Wow.
It's as simple as that. Every single problem.
Explain that to me, son.
Is a coaching problem.
Taking responsibility as a coach.
You got to fix the drops.
Okay.
I don't care if it's Jugs machine after practice, if it's discipline. I mean, you got to do something because whatever you're doing right now, every single error is a coaching error.
Wow.
Every error.
Okay.
Wow.
Now that's the Jerry.
I got it when you say it, coach.
Okay, so that's
taking responsibility for your players' problems.
So that's
not blaming the players. That's saying if they not playing well, it's because I'm not coaching them well.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So that's the conversation between Jerry Jones and you, right? Because that's that management conversation. So what does that conversation look like between you and me? I'm Michael Gallup. How you doing, coach? I got my earring in. Hey, man, I had 1,000 yards last year, man. Hey, man, I want to get paid next year, man. It's my 3rd year, man.
Listen,
what's up,
G.
coach? What's up, man?
This is what my job is, man.
What's up, man? What's up?
My job is to win games.
Okay,
you want to win games?
Yeah, I want to win games, man. I want to get paid, too.
My job is to make you more money. You want to make more money?
Heck yeah, man. You see that new Bentley truck, man? I'm trying to get it on 24s.
Well, if you want 20 more of those Bentleys,
okay,
this is what we got to do.
What we got to do?
Right now, you're dropping a football. Now, you keep dropping a football, you're not going to make more money. if I can get you to buy in, we're going to build a relationship. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to stay after with you after practice. We're going to throw a Dak. We're going to get you some of these issues that I think are coaching errors, because they're not your issue. They're my issue. And I'm going to fix the issue, and you're going to make more money. But if I don't fix the issue, you're not going to make no money, and then I'm going to be gone. So if you want to make money, we can get you some more money. But we got to fix the issue. Now, you can be a number 2, you can be a number 3, or come out of this contract. You're coming into your year right here. You're coming in right now, right? Pretty soon?
Yeah.
Right. You know what happens when you come into your last year and you ball out?
Get paid.
Right. So right now, if I'm looking, right, and I'm Jerry, or I don't know, Mr. Kraft, I'm somebody, right? Anybody. You catch all the balls, I think that's going to make you a little bit more marketable, don't you think?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What are you thinking when you drop these balls? Like, before the ball's coming to you, what are you thinking? Because I got to
thinking I should catch the ball. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking, because I'm a guy. This is speaking from inside my heart. You really talking to me now. I'm a guy who had when I was early, I got moved from wide receiver to corner. I'm not gonna tell y'all why, but I got moved from wide receiver to corner. Okay, so if my coach understands, coach probably know why I got moved. But what I'm thinking is I can't drop the ball again. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking. When I was in 8th grade playing 8th grade U, I was thinking, I can't drop the ball this year.
Okay. Can I tell you something? That's a problem. I want
Yes,
to
sir.
switch that around. That's an easy fix. It's called confidence. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get 100 of these jugs machine every day after practice. And every single time that ball comes to you, you're going to think, I'm going to score. Not, I don't want to catch, or I'm having trouble catch the ball. Nothing negative at all. It's, I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to score. That's my football. I'm going to score. And you're going to tell yourself that every single time. You do this and you buy into this, I guarantee you catch more balls than you've ever caught ever in your life. And then you're going to make more money. Because what do you want to do?
I want to make more money. I want to get that Bentley truck on 24s, Coach.
I mean, and
I'm going to get you one too, Coach.
I'm being straight up, though. A lot of times it's just the psyche of what guys are thinking, just having confidence and not turning it around, having mental imagery that's positive. The more positive you're going to be, I'm going to make this money.
Yeah, more plays you're going to make.
Gonna happen.
Right.
It's really not that hard.
That's good, Coach. Coach, I want to. Man.
That was mine.
I got my boy Jerry and James. What's up, JJ? JJ was an All-American receiver I played with out of U of H. A dog. Like, matter of fact, I was talking to him today. What made me fall in love, and I don't say I fall in love with men easy. So I fell in love with him. And but this what did it for me, Coach, watching him on crackback blocks. Watching that he
old school ones.
You say what now?
Old school ones that were legal.
Old school. Like I play corner and I'm over here saying, I gotta hit because he hit linebackers harder than me. And he played receiver. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is I did some research on kind of like receivers that come into the league, because you talked about mentality, and I found that 5% make it when they come into the league expected to be the number 1, but the ones that actually make that transition right are the ones that come in and they kind of cut their teeth first on nickels and number 2 corners. So I want to get kind of like your thought process on that theory that I came up with from basically just looking at research of receivers that was brought in, like, because you said it's a mentality. Because I also think I saw that with Gallup. Like when Gallup first got here, he was like scary Jerry. But then when Cooper came, it took that pressure off him. He started going against number 2s and number 3s. And then all of a sudden he settled in and became a big boy. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think you hit a key word there, and it could be taken in 2 different perspectives. But you talked about guys that come in and expect.
Yeah.
You can't really expect anything. Now, let's say I could take it from this perspective. Let's say I expect to be the number 1, but am I willing to put in number 1 work? Because there's a difference, right? Sometimes that happens from a guy first, second round, looking at the roster. Oh, I'm going to roll up in here. I'm expected to be number 1. and I kind of glide, I get sent home. Now,
Got you.
from the other side of it, though, you talking about expect. Some guys in that first acclimation, process in the first year, let's just be real. It's a lot different, man. You got a whole lot of money, whole lot of fame, a lot of stuff that you never had before at such a higher level that it's not really the game per se that's affecting you. It's your thinking about those wrong things and getting acclimated. So sometimes somebody like Gallup needs somebody like Amari that's already gone through that. Amari's not doing anything different. He did that, on a different team. He comes in and now he expects to be the man, but differently because he knows how to do it and he's willing to put in the work. And it's okay that certain guys aren't ready or wanting to take that responsibility
out the gate. Right.
Out the gate.
It's okay. There's a role for some of them guys as long as they produce, they can do their job, as we say. But now we're coming into that next part where we can't continue to put the ball on the ground, so to speak, and I've seen it, run the wrong route or jump off sides. Now we are expecting you to take a higher role so the next guy, he can expect to let you do it, if that makes sense.
Because jobs are on the line, man. Jobs are on the line. Like a guy like you, your job is on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're grading your production on as a coach is, you know what I'm saying? Those picks and those things like that, man. Shoot, man, we've been on here for 2 hours, man. It's been a great thing. We had Coach on here, and we want to appreciate you for coming on. I want to let y'all know just as much as he knows his wide receivers, man. He also, every wide receiver knows them cornerbacks. You got to know them cornerbacks. So we're gonna get him back on here at some point this week or at the beginning of we got the draft next week. You know what I'm saying? But for sure, if you are not doing nothing, we like to ask people on air because we figure if you put people on air, they're more inclined to say yeah in front of like thousands of people instead of on the phone. So on the draft, we're having a big old draft show, and we would love for you to swing by and chime in and talk to us about some picks that have already come through. We're gonna have a huge Zoom thing, and I definitely love to have you on the show come draft night. So if you ain't doing nothing there, Coach, you can definitely come hang out with West Coast and Boss Cowboy, and we're gonna have ourselves we'll be covering the drafts Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So we got some special screens and stuff like that. So if you want to come through and chop it up with us live, make sure you do that. But Coach, man, I got some folks in the comment box. They're asking right now, where can they follow you at on your social media platforms? And he speaks so well. You want to know why? Because he also does what we does. He has his own podcast and his own social media platform that he has, and he puts out training material and stuff like that too. So let them know where they can when and where they can catch your show and what you got going next for 2020. Other than sticking out.
Well, first off, I want to thank you guys both, man. I really enjoyed it. I love sharing knowledge and sharing opinions and sharing, just different perspectives. So thanks. I'd love to be on again. I'd like to see some of our picks and see which receiver gets taken first. But also, some of the guys we talked about, what happens with Claypool. See how close we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, yes, I'm on Facebook, simply Jeff Higgins. You'll see me. Obviously the football picture. It'll say Coach Higgs Training because I do have a little training business that you talked about. So on Instagram, I got my training page. Also Facebook, Coach Higgs Training. They're the same. On Twitter, I'm at Coach Higgs 12. And I do my Facebook Live. Basically, I get on there and I, skip that show tonight for you guys, and I'd love to join you again. But basically, 9:30 Eastern, I do it Monday to Friday. I'm on for an hour. We answer questions. We talk about, schemes, schematics, anything you want to talk about football related. So I'm on there. I got a lot of guys that even come on there and just ask about how to get better, or they just talk to me about training or whatever. I'm really here to give back to the game. Love the game, love to talk about it, and that's really it. So anybody wants to reach out to me, great. I hope I get on with you guys again. It's been great. Let's see what happens in this draft, and hey, let's just do the right thing out there and get ready for this football season.
Man, I remember the first show I ever seen of Coach. Like literally, I'm gonna tell you, boss. I'm gonna see if this reminds you of anything. He had a whiteboard, or it was a whiteboard, a piece of paper, and he was trying to draw the circles of the square. See, he got a fold right here, but then you got the gap right here. Y'all see y'all. And I was like, Coach, I feel you, man. We didn't been there. I didn't been there, man. Like when they just ain't understanding. You know what I'm saying? If in this coverage, you're not supposed to be there. Like I gotta show you on paper. So I was like, oh yeah, we definitely get Coach on the line.
Remember those days.
I was like, we definitely getting him on the line.
Like that, Coach. Giving back. I love everything you said, Coach. Like from what you talked about, you will be my coach, and I will send my son to you.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
you don't see too many coaches that really understand that a kid's failure is on a coach, not the kid. A player's failure is on the coach, not the player. So, and I wish more coaches took responsibility like that, because what it does is it makes you do everything that you can as a coach to make that person successful.
Yeah.
So
Sir, how am I
Coach.
gonna get your son to be responsible if I don't ever, as a leader,
As
take
a leader.
responsibility? I mean, let's just keep it simple, right?
It's keeping it
Because you for sure gonna take because I mean naturally you will take responsibility for their success naturally. Oh my God, did you see? Oh yeah, and I was the coach. How you doing?
I was
you know
the
what I'm saying?
coach.
How you doing? You know what I'm saying? But
said
you're
what
absolutely
Jerry
right,
Jones
man.
said,
And it's,
Jerry,
yeah,
his ball drops is on me. That's a unicorn of a coach.
yeah, that's dope.
You know, so I really appreciate it. And I mean, we all got this in us, and I want to see more of this. I want to see more receiver experts. I want to see more defensive tackle experts, and people that train like you. And just because, like I said, I know corner, I know football, I know politics, and I'm talking about politics, organizational politics, not politics. You know what I mean?
You know what?
So,
Let me touch on this, and you like this because you just said something, right? 2001, I coached in Georgia, West Side High School. Had a kid, I taught him how to backpedal. I was his DB coach.
right.
Now, I think you heard in my story that Tony Dungy was Kevin Porter's coach. Kevin Porter taught me when I was playing receiver DB.
Mm-hmm.
I did not take credit for this kid because this kid, he was a baller. He's been a baller, 10 years in the league, 19th pick in the draft, went to Alabama. Kareem Jackson. I didn't take responsibility for him. Coco was a stud.
Right.
Coco was a stud. He was
Right.
my point guard, taught him how to backpedal. I was fortunate enough to have that kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take responsibility for all the losses and let all the kids and the athletes and the pros, let them take responsibility for the wins and the success. And that's just how you do it, man.
Right on. And Coach, I definitely want to see you come back after the draft, because I want to recap these guys that we picked, and then it makes us better, so.
Absolutely. She might try to get you on next week, talk about some cornerbacks, man, because there's the whole world wants this guy named C.J. Henderson, man. I'm doing Hey, man, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us tonight, man. You guys already know what it is. Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Boss Cowboy Sports, man, and I just dropped a new meme. I got a lot of articles coming out this week. I'm going to fully have y'all ready to cram for this draft. Trust me.
Draft, cram, draft. It's like the finals, man. It's like the finals.
Like
y'all
we
know y'all
always do. Look, everybody does it.
Yeah,
Everybody.
and let's just be real. Like most folks, unless you like West Coast or boss or coach, you don't start paying attention to the draft until Monday anyway. So it's like now we just gonna instead of hiding it, we just gonna be real with it. Yeah, it's okay to cram. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's best.
Y'all go purchase the book that I put out on Boss Cowboy Offseason Guide 2020. It's
on Amazon. Go on Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah.
Hey,
Boss
can I get
Cowboy
you guys to
2020.
do me a favor too?
Shoot.
I'll get a book. I'll read it, whatever. Get on my YouTube and see my training videos. I just started it. I got DB stuff. I trained the CFL Rookie of the Year. He's a linebacker. He's from Orlando. He's doing some DB work. Get on that YouTube and check it out. Subscribe to it for me.
What's the name of the YouTube?
Just Jeff Higgins.
Jeff Higgins.
Jeff Higgins. Type in my name. You'll see the videos.
All right, sounds good. Well, hey, man, you guys already know who you following with West Coast because you've been rocking with me all night, man. I want to thank you guys and let you guys know we truly appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us, you guys. And you guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.